As someone who tries to take sustainability into consideration when making a purchase and who wants nothing to do with a pair of uncomfortable shoes, I was intrigued the first time I heard about Vivaia. They were brought to my attention by a YouTuber who said their shoes were both comfortable and sustainably sourced. After browsing the site, I shortly thereafter added a pair to my wish list. They didn't have the color I wanted in stock, and I wasn't exactly in need of a new pair of shoes at that moment. But towards the end of 2023, my trusty pair of ballet flats from Target was getting pretty worn down. In November, I saw that Vivaia was having a pre-Black Friday sale, and I decided to go for it. Thankfully, the pair that I had added to my wishlist was available in my size and the color I wanted. I briefly flirted with the idea of getting the fuchsia pair, but I decided realistically I'd probably get more wear out of the almond color. The only doubt that remained in my mind was the sizing. These shoes are marketed as being European size, but you can easily switch the size chart over to US sizes. So it should have been simple, right? Instead of just choosing my normal US size, which is what I should have done in hindsight, I decided that to be extra sure, I would measure my feet both in inches and in centimeters. However, this only complicated things as my right foot is bigger than my left foot, so obviously I would size up to accommodate my right foot. But I was also falling into different sizes depending on whether I was measuring in inches or centimeters. Additionally, I was also measuring the width of my foot and getting a measurement that was smaller than even the smallest shoe size, which simply did not make sense. This all led me to come to the conclusion that I am simply not good at measuring. Below the size chart, there were further instructions to order by foot shape. Apparently, if your second toe is longer, as is mine, that is called a Morton's toe, and you should size up. Taking into consideration all these facts was just making me a little bit confused, and since the shoes are rather pricey, I decided to contact customer support. I didn't want to take any risks. After giving them all the different measurements that I had come up with, they asked me what size I normally wear. I told them that I normally wear a size 7.5 in shoes, including ballet flats, and I normally wear an 8.5 in sneakers. Don't ask me why that is, I don't know. I think that's normal for most people, right? We wear a size up in sneakers, or is that why all my sneakers have holes in those from my foot sliding around? Then the customer service representative recommended the size 8.5. So that is what I bought, the Melia style, the pointed toe flats in size 8.5, almond color for $77, which was $20 off the original price of $97. And they're too big. It was quite a disappointment to try them on and see that my foot was indeed sliding around in the shoes, and they were coming off my heel as I was walking around. I should have stuck to size 7.5 because unfortunately I have no way to return them. Well, I probably do have some way, but it's quite impractical. The last thing I tried to mail from the DR was a letter, and they wanted to charge me $60. So can't imagine what it would be for a pair of shoes, and that would definitely not be worth the price. I wrote to customer support again, and I was very pleased with their response. I explained the situation. The shoes were simply too big, and they suggested insoles to help them fit better. Now I don't have a pair of insoles lying around, so unfortunately I have not gotten to try that out yet. But since I also mentioned that I bought this size specifically based on guidance I'd received from customer support previously, they did offer me a $21 refund. That was more than I expected, honestly, so I'm satisfied with the response. I still haven't been able to get my hands on a pair of insoles to test it out to see if that would help them fit better. But last week I decided to just wear the shoes out once and test out the claim that they are so comfortable. This was the day that I knew wouldn't involve a lot of walking. I was mostly just with my friends at a cafe and then at a food court. So I just walked a few flights of stairs around the food court and in the parking lot, back up my apartment building, so it wasn't a heavy walking day. And well, I can't say the claim that they're so comfortable held up. These shoes claim to have a breathable, spacious toe box, so it's not cramping your toes altogether. But when I first took the shoes off, the first thing I noticed was my pinky knuckle was just bright red. And that was something I had felt when wearing the shoes too. Actually, both sides of my foot were red. So I don't know what happened to that measurement that I took. My feet were apparently so narrow, but I guess they're not. My heels were also red despite this cushy padding that they have in the back, which is designed to prevent blisters. Thankfully though, I didn't actually get any blisters. It was just momentarily red and a little bit sore, but I still can't agree with everyone that they are just very comfortable. Another thing I noticed when looking at the shoes overall is that one of the shoes, this part of the shoe seems to go in and it sort of rubs on my heel a little bit more than on the other one. I'm not sure if that's just a manufacturing error or something, but that was something I noticed right out of the box. Now, I'll address your objections because I'm sure there are some. Is it possible they just need some breaking in? Yes. And of course, I know someone's going to say it. I'm wearing the incorrect size. However, I would think ballet flats that are too big would be less of a problem than those that are too small, but I will grant it as an applicable objection. I would also consider that Perhaps this style is just one of their less comfortable styles. It seems many of their shoes, such as the Aria, for example, have a different kind of finishing that sort of reminds me of a sweater, for lack of a better way to describe it. They look more flexible than the Melia, which could mean they're more comfortable as well. Another point to note is that many of their shoes are machine washable, but this Melia design is not, which is probably due to the fact that it is a more structured style than it seems the other ones might be. I could also accept the objection that my feet are just sensitive. My sister's the same pair of Target ballet flats that I have, and she said she's never had a problem with blisters, but I definitely did before they were broken in. And by broken in, I mean I literally wore them in the rain for a whole photo shoot, and they got soaked and totally misshapen, and now they're comfortable. Another point I wanted to test was Vivaia's sustainability claims. I recently started using an app called Good On You, which rates brands on their impact on workers, the planet, and animals. Vivaia's rating is It's a Start, which is 3 out of 5 stars, which kind of surprised me, to be honest. I'll put the full rating here, but just to give you an idea, the environment and labor ratings are both It's a Start. They use a medium proportion of eco-friendly materials, including recycled materials, but they source the final stage of production from countries with a high risk of labor abuse. The animal rating is good because they do not use any animal products besides wool. One disclaimer is that this rating was last updated in June of 2022. So how would I rate Vivaia overall? Customer service, I will give a 9 out of 10 because they were very kind and helpful each step of the way. But I'm dropping a point since they did mislead me to buy the incorrect size. Although when I told them that I bought the size based on their recommendation, they did offer a partial refund, which, considering that I couldn't return the item, is a pretty good solution. Now to rate the shoes, for style I'll give them an 8 out of 10. They seem very well made, and it does seem like they should be comfortable, like everything's cushy, they have this padding here, seems like the design was well thought out. Personally for me, I'm not sure if I'm like a fan of this sort of material. I don't know why, it's just a me problem. I just like smooth things. For comfort, I'll give them a 5 out of 10 because although they did give me some issues towards the end of the day, left my feet feeling a little bit sore and were looking a little bit red, they were the wrong size after all, and it was never so bad that I wanted to take them off. For sustainability, I'll just echo what Good On You rated them as and give them a 6 out of 10. My overall advice would be, number 1, stick to your gut about the sizing. Number 2, maybe pick a different style, not the Melia, if comfort is your top priority. And number 3, do not order anything expensive if you're located in a place where returning or exchanging would be impossible. Taking that advice myself. I hope this review would help someone who was interested in Vivaia shoes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.